Hi y'all, I'm Allison. Welcome to the Mighty BuJo. Today we're going to be doing the cover page for my April 2019 bullet journal. I'm going to be showing you how to draw and watercolor an Easter basket and an Easter bunny. So we're going to get started right away and start drawing our basket. I'm going to make it span over both pages, and this will be the title page for the month of April for me. And if you didn't guess it, I will be doing an Easter theme this month. And I'm so happy because I'm ahead of the game for once. And all these pages should come out in a timely manner. I even have my month of April all set up, so I will begin those videos probably tomorrow. But today we are here to talk about this Easter basket. So I'm just doing a rough sketch with the pencil, obviously. Then we'll go in with the koi watercolors and make it bright and colorful. Now I am doing a loosely woven basket, just starting it with doing my little grid. And then we'll come in and erase like every other line to give it that woven look. Took me a little bit to figure out which lines I had to erase, but once I figured out the pattern, it was really easy to do. Like I said, mine is loosely woven. If you wanted, you can make it look more intricate by just making your, let's see, that would be your vertical lines closer together. And over here, we're going to have a cute Easter bunny, and he's going to be peeking inside the basket. And I was surprised on how easy he was to draw for me. I'm definitely getting more confident, but that doesn't mean I don't mess up. So, in fact, you'll see it later on, I'm going to have some trouble with his feet, but for now, he's doing really good. There's a profile of his head and his little hand reaching into the basket. And now whenever you're layering objects, just kind of draw them on top of each other, and then you go back and erase the lines to show which is in the foreground and what's behind. And you'll see that here in just a second. I kind of started second guessing myself on how to put his feet, and it was kind of turning into a bad hair day. The more I messed with it, the worse it got. Looking back on it, there's a couple of times it was like, no, stop there, that would have worked. But I kept going and just kept changing and fiddling with them. But you know what? It's okay. Sometimes you'll have to erase a few times and just keep trying it, and then eventually you'll be like, you know what, that looks right. Or you'll be like, you know what, that looks good enough, which is what I decided in this case. So now I'm just erasing the basket to show that the bunny is in the front. And since my hand was out of the way for the majority of this, I didn't have to split screen, but now we have it so you can see clearly what I am doing. I've been waiting to do an Easter theme. Last year, Easter was too early in the month to dedicate a whole month to it. So this year, with it falling, I believe, on April 21st, there'll be a lot of time to do all sorts of Easter-related pages. So be sure and let me know what theme you're going to be doing for April. I'm curious. Just erasing some more overlapping lines to get his arm in the foreground. And then you want to go in and erase all of your pencil lines. Now, if your eraser starts to smudge more than erase, just grab a rough surface and run your eraser on that, and it'll clean it off for you. Now over here we've got the koi watercolors, And this will be kept in frame for y'all so you can see how I'm mixing the paints and how much paint I'm using, how often I'm dipping into it. We'll just keep it up there in the corner for y'all. Now, when you're watercoloring, you want to start with your lighter colors and then build your darker colors on top to get those layers. And at first, I was going to try and go fancy and have highlighting in my basket and all that, which is why I went with that golden color first. And then I decided, you know what, I was going to take too much thought and time, so I just pretty much blended a light brown on top of it and didn't really worry about the highlight. But you still get that color variation. And then to darken it a little bit for the, what is that called? I'm total blank. Anyway, the part that's weaving vertically, I just added some of the brown to the yellow that I already had to get a darker shade. And then decided to darken this in a little bit more. And then adding kind of like shadow on each side of the vertical bands. You know, if you look at a basket, it'll be dark where it's going in and out and underneath. And that's just to give it more of a woven look. And it really does start to look like a real basket. And then I wanted to darken this in some more to have some more variation between them. Not variation, contrast. There we go. It's kind of late in the day, so hopefully I'm not going to be tripping over myself all through this video. Up here is just the top of the basket. And then we move on to the handle. And I kept the top and the handle lighter. And then going in and showing the texture on the handle. And those lines are kind of slanted. And then down here, just going vertically. Look closer together. I need to mix up some other colors for the bunny. So I've got black with some white to get some gray. That is the great thing about watercolors. You can just mix your own shades. And that was just a kind of reddish pink. And I added some white to get the color for his ears and his nose. And then I'm just playing with a few of the brighter colors to find what I want to use for the Easter eggs that are inside the basket. And we're going to use those eggs to write the month of April. Now, ideally, you want to let your paints dry before going up next to it with a different color. You can kind of see where that green bled into the purple a little bit, and I'm about to overlap with the orange onto the blue. Colors started to mix, so the edge on that one, it gets a little messy, but it's okay. Up here we'll do the bunny. I'm so proud of my little bunny. I think he turned out really cute. My drawing has definitely improved since I started bullet journaling about 1.5 years ago. And that's just from doing these pages in my book every month and all the little added decorations that I add on my monthly and weekly pages. I've got a really light blue there just to show some definition in his tail and on his tummy where it's white. Gave a really light blush to his cheek. Now to get that real thick black, I dried off my brush and dipped directly into the paint well. And that's how you get that real defined black. Also, one thing I want to mention, my paper towel wasn't completely in view, but you can see it up there in the corner. Whenever I switch colors, I always dry off my brush completely to get all the paint out, and that keeps all the colors from mixing in the paint pods and getting all muddy. So now it's time to add the outline, which will really bring everything all together. Now, I'm excited to share my April monthly pages with y'all. I came up with some completely unique layouts like I had been hoping to do last year, and I think y'all are going to like it. I really like how my journaling section turned out. So be sure and subscribe if you hadn't, if you would like to see that, and keep an eye out for those. But we're not quite done here yet, so don't go anywhere. Now, March, I did a spring cleaning theme, and I haven't decided if I'm going to put those up or kind of save it as a bonus for it in next year and just do 2 monthly themes. Okay, here's where I'm talking about where I messed up with the feet. I wasn't paying attention and just went outline crazy, and I changed his feet completely. I'll do a split screen here in a minute and show you how it was supposed to be. But I haven't quite discovered it yet, and it's about to, see, his foot does not extend the way it should. And I closed this line, so his feet are all messed up. So since it's gray, I decided to go in with my white gel pen. Now, this wouldn't have worked with any of the bright pink colors, but here it did. So I was able to white out those black lines and then go in and kind of fix it. I did let that white dry first. I also kind of did his toes wrong. It shouldn't have had that third line at the closest to the bottom of the page. I think that really threw out the perspective. But I think I recovered from it well enough. It doesn't look quite as bad as it did originally. And you know what? He's so cute. You can ignore the feet, right? So since my pages did curl up, I always iron my bullet journal when I'm done with a watercolor page. And on the back side will be the memories for March. But there we go. There's my little bunny in the basket for my Easter-themed April pages. I hope y'all like this, and here's how it should have been. So his feet turned out dramatically different, but I recovered. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, and be sure and let me know what your theme is for the month. I'll catch y'all next time. Bye now.